What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Buckeye Saturday, September 9th, 2023. It's a little Niner 2023. I'm your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast, bringing it to you. Hey, don't forget, we're extending our sale through maybe we'll go week 3. TheBuckeyeCast.com, 25% off the entire site, everything. But if you want something for free, I will sing for you. No, that's not free. You should have to pay for that. Get your scores in for the t-shirt giveaway before game time, before 12 noon Eastern today. Predict the score of the Buckeye game. We give it to the person we're going by total points. So get your scores in there and win yourself a free t-shirt just by being smart and knowing shit. There you go. What else we got going on? Make sure you subscribe, as always, and like the videos. It really helps. What else we got going on? Sunday night, me, Jeff, and Sean will give you our instant reaction to today's game, and we'll look forward to next week against Western Kentucky. What else will we do? We'll give you our microscopes, score predictions, and we'll take your score predictions for the next t-shirt giveaway in week 3. That's it. Let's get to the show. All right. So I got your best bets here. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, just 5 games today. This week, there's not a lot worth looking at here. I was running through the list of top ranked teams. Georgia has Ball State. And we got Youngstown State. I will be talking about the Buckeye game, though. Notre Dame has NC State. Utah, Baylor. I guess that's okay, but Baylor's not ranked. They lost last week. K-State, Troy. I don't care about that. Nebraska, Colorado. I'll talk some Colorado. Coach Prime has everybody's attention. Classic Big 12 game they stumbled into last week. Shocker. Clemson. Looks like they might get a win this week going against an FCS team, Charleston Southern. Michigan has UNLV coming to town. Oh, I wish Tathan was on that UNLV team. That would be interesting, but I think he's fresh out of eligibility. Ole Miss, Tulane, they're technically ranked if you go by the top 25. We will talk some Texas A&M and the Canes. A&M going down to Miami. Tulsa, Washington. Don't care. Kevin Wilson going out to play Washington, kind of doing a scouting trip for us for the coming seasons. Austin Peay, Tennessee. Don't care. Yeah. Texas, Alabama, definitely going to touch on that. Oregon, Texas Tech, don't care. Yeah, that's about it. Anyways, so let's get to it. Game number 1. This is a nooner on ABC, not NBC. This is number 10, Notre Dame. They're 2-0, going to NC State to battle the Wolfpack at 1-0. Like I said, high noon, ABC. Notre Dame's currently favored by 7.5, over under of 51. Now let's go look at what Notre Dame has been doing here. 2-0. Beat 2 garbage teams, Navy and Tennessee State, 42-3 and 56-3. Sam Hartman looks like a world beater against garbage teams. That's obvious here. But NC State, not a bunch of pushovers. These guys are 1-0. They beat up on UConn. I know it's UConn, but these guys can move the ball a little bit. They had 364 total yards in a 24-14 game against UConn. Really ran the shit out of the ball. They went for over 200 yards on the ground, about 46 rushing attempts. So that's a 4.5-yard average. That's good. They were just over 50% on third down efficiency, 8 of 15. Played some good D. They held UConn to 4 of 12 on third downs. And they did hold the UConn passing attack down to 113 yards. Again, I know it's UConn. Penalties, this NC State team looks pretty well disciplined. 1 penalty for 5 yards. That's really good. I wish the Buckeyes would live in that world. And time of possession, they controlled the clock 34 minutes. So got a strong running game going against an Irish team here that has a strong, D line. What they do here against Navy? Yeah, they held Navy to 126 yards rushing. It's good. It's good for an option team. Total yards, they held Navy to 169. So, and, like I said before, Hartman can throw the ball around. He went for 250 in that game, and they ran it. So pretty balanced. They almost ran for 200 yards. So could be a battle of running games here in Notre Dame versus NC State. I don't like the number at 7.5. I'm kind of leaning towards NC State at that number because I'm not sure Notre Dame has shown us that they can actually throw the ball against Power 5 defenses. They actually haven't shown us that. So I'm going to take NC State. I think this is a little tighter. That's what she said. All right. Nebraska, Colorado up next. Holy hell. Prime has taken the football world by storm. This used to be a hell of a game. I would watch this game years and decades ago. So we know Colorado beat TCU 45-42 in a game where the defenses decided not to show up. Prime's son, Shadur, not a fan of that name. Anyway, threw for 500 yards. TCU threw for 280, two picks, 2 touchdowns. But then Colorado did not run the ball for shit. They had like 55 yards rushing. TCU went for 262 on the ground. So very different teams here. I like the Colorado attack from a recruiting point of view. It's flashy, puts up numbers, kind of like Coach Prime, puts up numbers, talks a lot, flashy, marketing focused, salesy. They were okay on third downs, 9 of 15, 2 of 2 on fourth downs last week. Again, the big 500 yards passing is an eye grabber, eye catcher. No INTs as well. 6 penalties, not a big deal, but they did control the ball, control the clock with 34 and a half minutes time of possession. So that's interesting. I am curious to see what they do if they try and run the ball and work on that ground game at all. But then you got Nebraska here that just lost to Minnesota. Yeah. Maybe Nebraska is going to take a little while. This could be a complete rebuild from the ground up. Nebraska was 5 of 11 on third downs last week against Minnesota. They had almost 300 yards total offense, only gave up 250, and 200 of that was through the air for Minnesota. So not a terrible defensive day. Obviously, they only allowed 13 points, but Nebraska just can't move the ball, man. Threw for 114, 6 yards pass, 3 picks. I mean, that's classic Nebraska football, right? Turnovers. Running the ball, he went for 181. That's nice, 4.9 average, but a fumble, So 4 turnovers, that'll kill you. And pretty even in the time of possession. Jeff Sims at quarterback, obviously, everybody's telling me how great this guy was. And I'm like, what else you got? So he can run the ball well, went for 91 yards rushing on 19 carries. That's legit. But nobody else really could take the ball there and run with it. So we'll see how their defense does. If they can show up against this Colorado team, can they get stops? I don't see it. I think that Colorado is just going to have too many chances to score. What was the spread here? Colorado by 3. Oh yeah, they're going to cover that easily. Why is it only a field goal? It's at Colorado. That's really strange. Yeah, 3 points. The ESPN matchup predictor has it at 58.7% Nebraska. Wow. I don't see it. I don't see it that way. I'm going Colorado easy cover. I'm going to lay off that over. I don't think they're going to put up 60 points again or anything like that. So taking Colorado to cover that field goal easy. Next up, A&M and Miami. Let's get to the proper tabs here. My 1 of 100 in my browser. I'm a big multiple tab guy in my browsers. All right, so the Canes, they went up north to play the Miami Redhawks. They won 38-3, dominated pretty much, almost 500 yards total offense. Only 3 of 7 on third downs, but when you're moving the ball that well, you don't get a lot of third downs. 243 through the air, 250 on the ground, very even split. Did have 8 penalties, which is so Miami. And controlled the ball a little bit better than the Redhawks. Not surprised there. You got the returning quarterback, TVD, 200, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. So I'm not sure how you're throwing interceptions against a MAC team, but they play defense too. So let's see what we got here. Henry Parrish, is he related to Roscoe? Is that Roscoe's kid? Oh, yeah, Mark Fletcher is in there. 76 yards, former Buckeye commit, 1 touchdown. Henry Parrish led the way, 90 yards on a touch. So moving the ball well on the ground. Let's see what A&M's done here. They got went against New Mexico last week. Beat them 52-10, 27 first downs, 3 of 7. Again, another blowout where you don't need a lot of third down conversions. Over 400 yards total offense. 277 through the air, 134 on the ground. So more of a passing focused offense here. 9 penalties, 88 yards, and no turnovers. So very efficient there, but only had the ball for 25 minutes. They just scored fast, probably. So our spread for this game is Texas A&M -4. It's another tight one. Yeah, I'm taking A&M in that game. I'm liking their quarterback play. Is that Connor Wegman? Yeah, 236, 5 touchdowns. Yeah, I'll take that. I think they easily crush Miami. So Miami's just not back yet. But you know who is back? Texas. Texas is freaking back. They're so back. Oh, yes. Oh, no, I just closed the tab. Anyway, we got Texas here. Bama is favored by 7, over under of 54. Okay, so Texas 37-10 last week. They beat Rice. Don't play with your food. You're just supposed to beat food. Quinn Ewers, we know him, Mr. Kombucha. I hope he has excellent gut health. He has cut his hair. I'm not sure what you're going to do about those tats. Threw for 260, 3 touchdowns. Kind of a slow-moving game. They went for 158 on the ground. JT Daniels, yes, that JT Daniels. 1 touchdown, 2 picks, threw for $150 for Rice. Again, that guy just cannot find a team that fits his style. Maybe it's not the team. But Texas, 6 of 15 on third downs, almost 500 total yards, 300 passing total, 158 on the ground, handful of penalties. So controlled the ball well. 8.3 yards per pass. That's a nice little average. 4.1 on the ground. I like Texas. I don't like them enough to say that they're back. So I'd say, where's Bama? Let me pull up Bama here real quick, see what they've been doing. I know Jalen Milroe has been doing well. They played Middle Tennessee State. What do you really learn from that? Milroe and Tyler Buckner got in there for a handful of passes. Jalen Milroe went for 194 through the air, 3 touchdowns, but also had 7 carries for 50 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then you got a bunch of guys kicking in their yardage. Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, Justice Haynes, we remember him. Richard Young, a couple 5-star running backs back-to-back there. Then you even got Ty Simpson getting into the act. So Milroe had 2 touchdowns rushing, Jace McClellan with 1. So you got a bunch of guys just chipping in a little bit, they're 30, 40 yards. So nobody really went off on the ground. I guess you could say Milroe had a good day through the air, but only 194. Receivers, Isaiah Bond with 5 catches and a touch. Jermaine Burton, 3 and a touch. So let's look at the team stats here. Again, Bama doing Bama things, converting third downs, 10 of 13. That's where the Buckeyes should be. 431 total yards, 226 total through the air, 200 rushing. So Bama is kind of reverting back to that ball control, ground and pound. Don't let the quarterback lose the game for us, especially when it's Jalen Milroe. So even, kind of almost even in the yardage, 226 to 205 pass to run ratio. Only 2 penalties. They're not going to kill themselves, and they're going to control the ball, and they easily move the ball up and down the field. Now, it seems like they should be doing better than this against Middle Tennessee State. They allowed just over 200 yards, nothing fantastic, 78 rushing, 133 on the ground. So I think Bama easily covers this 7-point spread. I can't trust Texas, especially on the road. I do have a little fun fact for you. The Tide, this is the first Alabama home game of a Power 5 team since 2010. Yeah, it's 2023 now, folks. Been a little while. They are 13-2-1 against the spread in non-conference Power 5 games. So they almost broke that streak last year at Texas, but and their win streak, I think their win streak is like 56 against non-con regular season teams. So I think Bama covers this. Texas is not back, in case you thought they were. I was just kidding. But if it turns into a score fest, you got to favor Texas at least to cover. But going to Tuscaloosa at night, 7 p.m., that's on ESPN. So look for that. If you have ESPN, good luck. You might want to switch to YouTube TV. All right, let's talk the Buckeyes here. We're going a little long. I'm kind of droning on and on. I'm putting myself to sleep. Buckeyes bring in Youngstown State, the Penguins, the Fighting Trestles. So these guys had a decent week last week against Valparaiso, the Beacons. What they won 52-10, doing what you should do. Moving the ball well on the ground, over 300 yards rushing. Did have a lot of penalties, 8 penalties for 91 yards. Keep an eye out for that. See if they get a little frisky when they get down 3 touchdowns to the Buckeyes. They had a 7.4 yards per rush average. That's very nice. Only threw for 169, but looking at the box score here, everybody got into the act on the ground. Running back Tyshawn King had 11 carries for 111 and 2 touchdowns. Deshaun Watley, 5 carries, 59 yards and a touchdown. And the quarterback, Mitch Davidson, even got into the act with a few carries. And the backup quarterback got in there as well. Receivers, you got Bryce Oliver, 5 catches, 65 yards. CJ Charleston, 4 for a touchdown. So, all right, let's see what they can do against our secondary. You guys want to try and run the ball against our front 7, front 5, 6, whatever. Go ahead and try. I don't see how they're going to have success. The question is, will they try and run like bleed the clock like Indiana did. That seems to be the recipe when you got an inferior team facing a top 5 team. Bleed the clock down, try and keep it close as much as possible. But at some point, you do have to try and score points. That's my issue with Indiana and Tom Allen last week. They just weren't trying to score. They're just bleeding clock, run a play, bleed the clock, run a play. And it was really frustrating. They only threw like 20 attempts. So anyway, off of that, Buckeyes, there is no spread on this one.